Yeah.
You think about
Yeah.
bypass
Yeah, Jerry Jones trying to bypass an agent with Micah.
Right.
I
I'm glad you said that, right? Now, I don't
ain't
know this
really.
for sure. I don't know this for sure. Maybe you guys do. Is that a violation of the NFLPA? Is that a violation? Because the players, what's the name? The union hasn't gotten involved in it
Mm-mm.
to
And
say,
you know why?
they're trying to negotiate without the agent.
It's
Go
not a
ahead.
That
violation.
would
Go ahead,
be
Mike.
that
Mhm.
would be a violation. Like if the player had an agreement with their agent, agents probably put clauses in there where so I don't care if it's football or basketball or if you're a talent agent or something. Once you sign to an agent, you can't as their client, you can't go out and solicit business and undercut them, right? But if business come to you, then it's your job to refer them
Right.
to your agent.
That's right.
Right.
So no, Jerry
And
Jones was out of
he wasn't out of line. And players can negotiate on their own behalf, a la Lamar Jackson. So I don't think it's something a violation there. No regard. Now,
No, I'm okay, okay. Good point. But Lamar has a quote unquote agent. Is his mom, right?
right.
no, she's listed as his business manager. He does not. He's been on record. I don't have an agent. She's
Oh,
my
okay.
manager. I'm my own agent.
Okay.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
well, well. He don't have one where Micah
Right.
does. So that would make the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm
like it's
saying?
like Mike said, whatever the terms are between the client and agent, it might be a violation of their contract, but it's not an NFL violation.
All right, now check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all are my agent, right? And I'm
Yeah.
and I'm trying to sign a deal, you know what I'm saying, with a team. Now, me and the
Mm-hmm.
owner sit down at dinner and we hash out. And he say, Tunk, boy, you know what I mean? You want this, you know what I mean, $150 million contract, you know what I mean? $100 million guaranteed. And I was like, shit,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds good, whatever, whatever, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, you think we can do that? Yeah, I think we can do that. Okay, then I come back and tell y'all, look, man, I talked to the owner of the Baltimore Ravens, man, and he said, you know what I mean, 150, 100 guaranteed, man. And then y'all start asking me questions. Well, what did he say
Mm-hmm.
about this? I don't know. We ain't talk about that.
Right.
What did he say about that? I don't know.
Right.
We talk about that. But what did he ask you this? No, he asked you that.
Right.
He's like, well, nah. You know what I mean? We ain't going through that because we need to see the fine print.
Right.
So either me or y'all contact the organization, like, man, y'all, you got to talk to my agent now, man, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't understand and a lot of stuff I don't know.
Right.
Then that
Yeah.
owner gets mad. Like, no, man, we
Right.
had a deal. You
Right.
understand? And so that's why all that stuff should be deferred to your agent.
Mm.
All business talk should be deferred to your agent, man, because
Mm-hmm.
owner Jerry Jones, this ain't his first dance. This ain't his first rodeo.
Right.
So you know how he can trip these guys up. You know what I'm saying? So you can say, yeah, 100 million guaranteed, as long as it's contingent upon you getting 10 sacks each year for the next three, four. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It could be a lot of stuff in that contract. Then you're like, nah. And the agent, like, no. You know what I mean? First page, like, nah, we ain't signing this. And then,
Yeah.
but Jerry Jones will say, man, we ain't even gonna talk to the agent because we got a deal
Well,
and we ain't got to talk to the agent.
well, that you explaining exactly what happened, but except Jerry didn't shut talks down. The agent told Micah Parsons to shut it down. So Micah told Jerry, "Don't talk to me no more." The
Mm.
Talk to
agent
the agent.
stepped in and shut it down.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
talk to my agent. Right. Yeah. Talk
Yes.
to the agent.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
And really, Michael should have did that from the jump.
Right. Right.
Well,
Well,
What you think,
because
Clay? What you think, Clay? What you think? Run it
But I
down.
don't see no harm in it because at the end of the day, once the contracts get drafted, the agents, lawyers, everybody looking over it. So if it's something in there that's not good, it ain't gonna fly anyway. So I
let
don't
me
see no harm in it.
let
No,
me
no,
ask you.
go
Let me
ahead.
Mhm.
put it to you
Okay.
like this:
All right.
if you married and a young lady flirt with you, you know what I mean. You don't see no harm in the young lady immediately letting her know that you married. As long as it don't get physical, it don't come to nothing. Ain't no harm in it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's immediately off the top. You're supposed to let that person know that
You spoke before. Yeah. You got
Well, well,
you representative.
well. Jerry was flirting with Micah knowing that he was spoken for.
right. And so it's Michael's responsibility to let him know that, you know what I mean, it's Micah Parsons' responsibility to let Jerry Jones know that he overstepped his bounds.
Or just like I'm not allowed to speak on that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. It's nothing wrong with being less knowledgeable about things than others. That's what you hire an agent for.
Yeah.
So, you know, if somebody come to me and they talking these numbers and these terms, I'm like, man, I don't know about that, man. You got to talk to my agent about that. I don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? My job is to go out here and perform on the football field. All the X's and O's, and you know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know. You got to talk to my agent about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't think it was a bad idea. Like, because I think this is how Jerry does business. You know, he had great relationship with Michael Irvin. He had relationships with his players. They talk. They got family kind of vibe. You know, all this kind of stuff. I don't think it's that Mike's not allowed to talk. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, they talked about some things, and then before it went through, Mike ran it past his agents, and his agents shut it down.
Let me put it to you like this, though, right? Because Tunk did say that this is not Jerry, and we all agree that this is not Jerry's first time at a rodeo, right?
But not at all. Yeah.
Right. And so Tom says this, and this is the problem we have in America, is why we are so divided as men and women. Clark is a hell of a basketball player, and the girls do not like her, and so that the league is let me see, and the league is bearing father, right? Let me say this. It's about divide and conquer. So when you allow somebody to take the opportunity to even plant that seed of division, that right there can cause problems.
Right.
So now if Micah Parsons don't carry that information from back to whoever representing him, then that means that the agent gonna think that, well, I can't trust Micah. And if you can't trust somebody, then now you're not really going to be operating on their behalf, because you think, all right, he might be cutting a side deal to cut me out. So let me cut a deal now, whereas though I'm looking out for my best interest. So that's why it would behoove you as a person to say, all right, I'm gonna have to refer you directly to, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just you want it works.
Let's not get it twisted. Agents are shady too.
Right. Yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. Yeah. And let's not act like all these agents got these kids' best interests at heart. What they have in best interest is the relationships they have. So sometimes they brokering deals with their buddies, and the player is the pawn for it. You understand what I'm saying? So let's not act like they just, come on now.
Oh, I'm sure y'all heard this. Say like the agent got 2 clients that are free agents. So the better or the superstar of the 2, he might say Dallas, for instance. Say he got Micah and he got somebody else, but not as good as Micah, not as high profile or whatever. So he might talk Micah into taking a team-friendly deal so he could get his other client a better deal. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So stuff like that happens as well. You're right, Clay. So it ain't
That's how what Mike Conley went to Ohio State with what's the big guy that never panned out at Ohio?
Greg Oden. Greg Oden.
Yeah, Greg Oden.
Because Ohio State did not want Mike Conley. You know what I mean? Not Mike Conley Jr. They didn't want him, but they wanted Greg Oden. But in order to get Greg Oden, that was a package deal.
Yep.
So you had to bring in Mike Conley.
Yep.
So I mean, they do things like that.
Yeah.
But see, Clay, another thing, right? These why them agents, they gotta be careful. Because if it gets out that they are not working in the best interest of their client, the word gonna get out, and then they ain't gonna be able to represent nobody. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be able to nobody of substance. Because everybody go around, they be like, oh man, he did what's the name wrong. He did Tyreek Hill wrong. He did, you know what I'm saying? He did Patrick Mahomes wrong. So no, I ain't messing with him. You know what I mean? So they gotta be careful. You know what I mean? They don't want no reputation like that.
They do. But you gotta remember, these agents got a lot of great relationships. They got relationships in media. They got relationships with these teams, stuff like that. But I do believe it's some agents that's gotten a bad rep and their arm, they can't really solicit any more clients. I believe that.
You got two that come to mind, and these guys was, big time, whatever. The Drew Rosenhaus,
Drew Rosenhaus,
Scott Boras, right?
Yeah.
Scott Boras, man, owners hated him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, them owners over there in major leagues hate him, man, but the players loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And every time a big time free agent come up, that's what they was going to get, because he was going to do badly, right?
Yeah.
And then the thing that he had on his side that, agents in the NFL, NBA ain't got to worry about was salary cap. There's no salary cap in major league. So
not in baseball, yeah.
For the stars all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the stars all the time. So he would go in there, and Drew Rosenhaus, he another one in the NFL that he would go in there and do battle for you and things like that. But yeah, man, so it's good to have an agent. And owners like, man, who's your agent? Oh boy, let me put the gloves on because I'm gonna have to go battle with this guy. You know what I mean? They fight everything. I mean, it could be anything. They're gonna fight it. They're gonna fight everything.
Who was Michael Jordan agent? Was it?
The dude, he had a Town dude.
David Falk.
Oh, Falk. Yeah, I forgot his name, right?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this. Y'all probably know this already though, but David Stern believed, probably true, that David Falk was behind the lockout, the players striking in '99. Right?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Falk was behind that, right? Because he had the big time players at the time. Right? He thought he was behind that. So that's when he changed that rule, whereas though player maximum, player minimum, right? So he cut the agent out in a sense, whereas though it's only a certain amount you could get from the team. So you don't need the agent to get the max. You know what I'm saying? You just negotiate with the team. He cut the middleman out because he thought David Falk had too much power. And David Falk, he wasn't having it. I mean, David Stern wasn't having it.
Yeah,
but they still got agent representatives, and also the union had to agree on that. That's part of the collective bargaining. So you know what I'm saying. So why would the players even agree to something like that?
Because David Stern at that time wielded a big stick. You know what I'm saying? He wielded a big stick, and then look, here it is, Clayton. This more than anything. You ain't got to give up that 4% or 5% or 10%, whatever the agent cut.
It's only 4%.
Yeah, you ain't got to give that up now.
The thing is, though, people like owners, like I said, it's about divide and conquer. So anytime an owner can find a way to make the agent either look shady or make the agent look like he don't have, he not operating in the player's best behalf, they do stuff like that.
Because it was
divide conquer.
It was what's the name had a contract, and it was famously put out in the media and stuff. He had Johnny Cochran look over his contract. Yeah. This was Ray Allen one year. He was he was signing a free agent deal, and he got Johnny Cochran, and they was like, man, look at Ray Allen didn't say this, but they would say, man, just imagine paying Johnny Cochran $1,000 an hour to look over your contract, as opposed to paying an agent 4% of the contract.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, they also do things to protect the agent, the league, because when Lamar was up, they kept making that a media narrative. He don't have an agent. He don't have an agent. He don't have an agent. See, they don't want to cut out an industry as well, because like I said, those relationships they have. If you say that again.
No, I'm gonna let you finish, then I'm gonna jump back.
I'm just saying, when you empower players and now you're eliminating that industry, you understand what I'm saying? Now you kind of cutting out some of the relationships you have with friends and stuff like that. So they did a lot to empower the agent when it came to Lamar's situation.
Okay, I think that's how they wanted to look. But they really was trying to make Lamar seem like he ain't know what he was doing because he didn't have an agent. They was kind of saying like he was out of his element. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really know how to negotiate. He ain't know the ins and outs of contracts and things like that. But look at the contract he wound up signing. Now, on top of that, they're saying Lamar probably would have more endorsements if he had an agent.
Exactly.
Because he got, he a 2-time MVP.
Exactly.
You don't see no commercials.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No endorsement deals, things like that. They say
Exactly.
not having an agent hurt him on that front.
Right. But also, if Lamar's situation would have got celebrated in the media, then you had more players doing that. Now you're empowering the next generation, and eventually you run the risk of eliminating that industry altogether. So if I'm an owner and I really don't like dealing with these agents and all this, that, and the other, I could have took that opportunity to really empower that movement to inspire the next generation and eliminate it altogether.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this, because Retro says this. She says that LeBron mom used to handle his business. How do y'all feel about like the mothers stepping in and handling the business for these guys like LeBron? Then we talked about Daniel. I mean, not Daniel's. Lamar, his mother.
Daniels. Yeah, that's how. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a problem with it, man. As long as they got the kids' best interest and not trying to live through their kids and things like that, I don't have a problem with it.
And here again, it's all about your genetic makeup. So you got to remember, like, let's say, for instance, you got a billionaire kind of business tycoon, and he has children, offspring. Some of his DNA is going to go to produce that offspring. That offspring could be a woman that has inherited that characteristic. You understand? So women can be just as good at business as men. So I don't think it becomes a man-woman thing. It becomes a person thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're, because I mean, like Tunk said, if your mother or your father is qualified to advise you in a businessman, I don't think that's a bad thing. I know.
It was a player. He played baseball, and his mom was negotiating a deal, minor league contract, right, with Steinbrenner up in New York. And Steinbrenner like, man, I ain't talking to you. You're not qualified. Go, come back with an agent. And his mother said, well, if you don't want to talk to me, he going to school. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to talk to me. That's fine. He going to school then. You know what I'm saying? You don't sit up there and tell me, oh, I'm not qualified. You know what I'm saying? To have these discussions with you. And that was years ago. That might have been like in the early 90s or something like that. So, you know what I mean? So it come full circle. A lot of these kids' parents, mom and dad, they've educated themselves. You know what I'm saying? They know the ins and outs of things like that. They want to make sure their kid don't get taken care of. And they really know now and understand the generational wealth thing. You know what I'm saying? They really know this can take care of the family for years to come. So it's not really like the here and now type thing.
Yeah.
So I ain't got a problem with the mom. You know what I'm saying? Speaking up, and, you know what I mean, going to the meetings and talking to the owners and talking to the coaches. I ain't got a problem with that at all.
They think about how these women come out of the womb and all of a sudden they athletically inclined. You know what I'm saying? In areas where you don't think they should be. Like you got some girls that just can play football because they inherited that DNA. So you can inherit that business savvy through genetics, So women can be very much empowered and can be very much shrewd and can be great at doing business.
Oh yeah, no doubt, yeah. And I think and a lot of the mothers probably like when they had their sons and stuff like that, and their daughters, they really gonna look out for them. And a lot of times we think some of these kids come from single parent homes, so their mothers is really their mothers is the ones who there, but just got to make sure that hopefully they qualify, because I know Michael Beasley said that his mother stole money from. Did y'all hear about that?
I didn't hear it.
He was on a podcast and he said, when he first got to the league, that his mother and I forgot who else, another relative was helping to manage his money. He said they stole a ton of money from him. So
man, that child star, he had to sue his parents. Because they took all the earnings and stuff.
Think about Michael Beasley. God bless him, right? But he's been trouble. He even admitted to mental trouble. So to me, sometimes you inherit these things, so it doesn't surprise me that that's his story, that his mom, because she probably was dealing with some struggles. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It gets passed on, man. So seeing him, I'm not surprised.
Right.
And I'm not knocking. I'm just saying it struggles there.
Yeah.